Yeah, so I just wanted to speak to you today about foliar feeding. So obviously we've been looking at different topics of things growers might want to know more about. And this is something that there's always got, like, some growers swear by it and others have never done it before. So it's just to nail down really how it works and why you would do it. So if we look at, so why would you choose to foliar feed if you've never done it before?
Yeah. So foliar feeding is, in a way, it's just a direct application of nutrients straight to the leaves or the stems.
Yeah.
So it's allowing the nutrients to be fully utilized by the plants exactly where it's needed. So it's great for local deficiencies, and it's great for a sort of a quick spritz for revitalizing plants.
Yeah, and you'd spray it. Is it just the leaves? You wouldn't spray it on the stem or any?
Yeah, so you can spray it on the stems, but it's normally spraying the leaves on the top and the underside. So the underside, it's important to get the underside because that's where the stomata are, and it allows the plant to uptake it efficiently.
What is the stomata? I've heard it before.
So it's basically what you call the plant's pore system. So it's basically these stomata are pores where the nutrients are allowed to seep into the plant effectively. They're uptaken via the plant in that way.
Yeah. So it's kind of how you get all the nutrients in, and does it affect colour on the leaves? And no, that's not.
Yeah. So in terms of the if you spray on a product to sort of improve, it can improve the colour. It can add a bit of vigor. It can improve the look of the plant. Yes, of course.
Right. So how would you foliar feed? Are there different ways of doing it?
Yeah. So with foliar feeding, it's because it's a direct application and the nutrients have a shorter path to travel. You always want to apply it in a more diluted form. So a tenth of that of what you use for root application. So if your root application is 1 mils per litre, you'd be adding 0.1 mils per litre instead. You also want to make sure the pH is between, say, 6.5 and 7.5, ideally 7. So you've got a nice neutral pH and it's not going to cause any imbalances once it's uptaken.
Yeah.
A good way of applying it is using a wetting agent, which can help reduce surface tension of the solution. It can also minimize burning. The burning can occur when the nutrient liquid on the surface creates a sort of a spherical shape or a bulb, and it can also act as a lens, which, when the lights are on, if the nutrient's still on the surface, can act as a lens and burn the leaf, surface of the leaf, and cause issues.
So you've got to be careful with a lot of these sprays under lights.
Correct. So another way of improving that is obviously mist application. So if you can spray it as a mist rather than a spray, it helps helps with that, but also uptake, and it also disperses the nutrient more efficiently. So misting is the way to go. Also, if you spray the nutrients, say 15 to 30 minutes after the lights have gone off, it gives it the most time for nutrient to be absorbed. It minimises the burning also, and it reduces the likelihood of seeing residue on the surface, which can be an issue in some products. Like, say, always worth shaking the nutrient solution as well before spraying.
Yeah.
In terms of how to spray, I'd spray that on the top and the bottom of the leaves. Make sure it's completely covered. Less is more, but you want to make sure you are covering every angle, and spray it till run off, so that your solution's running off to show that you've got a good coverage. I would probably do this once, possibly twice a week, depending on the strength. It depends on a number of factors, but depending on the strength, depending on the what's in the product. So if it's low NPK, it's not such a concern. If it's sort of magnesium and calcium supplement, then it can cause burning if you overspray and your root feeding at the same time.
Right. So you would advise that if you're just starting off and you haven't done it before, would you recommend, is it better to do it like once a week initially?
So I'd stick to once a week, and if you're new to growing, stick to pre-formulated foliar sprays. There's a number out there nowadays. they all provide a good general plant tonic formulation. Obviously there are some out there which do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Just stick to what's pre-formulated and you can't go wrong.
So if you're just starting off, you'd get a pre-formulated foliar spray, and you're better to do it once a week initially.
Yeah.
Do it when lights are off, and make sure that you do more of a mist and not spray to avoid things like burning.
Yeah, and if you can add a wetting. Sorry, go on.
And if you're more advanced, that's when you could make up your own kind of solution.
That is common. You do get people who, once they get a bit of confidence, they know what they can and can't spray on. But I think it's generally received as, there's general plant tonics out there for sort of revitalising, adding colour, adding vigour to plants. And then you can obviously spray things like your mononutrients, so your magnesium, calcium, nitrogen, for local deficiencies, which is a great way to sort of, fix a problem that's already occurred, and then you can correct the problem at the root.
Right, okay. And overall, what are the benefits of foliar feeding for anyone? There'll be many growers who just stick to the usual process of base nutrients. You've got a bloom boost, you've got a PK, and they might think everything's going well and I don't necessarily need to. But what are the benefits of adding this?
So one I've already covered is the direct application. So it provides nutrients exactly where they're needed at the right time. So that the leaves will be treated directly. So it's in conjunction with root feed, and it's beneficial. So it is a short-term deficiency solution as a whole. But obviously any long-term deficiencies do need to be corrected, as I've just highlighted. Like I say, it's great for deficiencies, especially when you've got. Sorry, go on.
If you've got a deficiency, this can be used as a kind of more of a quick fix, but you would still need to implement other, like for specific. Obviously it depends on the deficiency, doesn't it? But it's not something that would deal with the problem long term, but it's something that you can quickly kind of treat.
Correct. So if something's gone wrong, you can correct the problem at the source, and obviously at the areas that have been affected. So you've basically got a two-pronged attack.
Yeah.
But obviously you've got to make sure that you are fixing the underlying issue. Otherwise, you'll find yourself needing to constantly top up for deficiencies, which means that something's going wrong in the root zone. Nutrients aren't circulating. So like I say, it does work great, this, especially for sort of plants in a system where some plants might not. For a flood and drain, for example, it might be that you've got your setup where the nutrients aren't quite making it to the end pots. So it's great for plants like that. But like I said, if that is the issue, then the resolution might be less pots, bigger pump. You've got to tackle the underlying issue. Otherwise, you'll be spraying all day long.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't want to be doing that, obviously.
No, you'll have wrists like hooks.
Yeah. So you would only use it to treat the deficient plant. Can you spray it if you're just to add a health boost, though?
You can, yes. So there are products out there. House and Garden Magic Green is a great way to revitalise plants. We've obviously got Evolution, which does the same thing. It's a general plant tonic. Obviously you've got sort of a source of iron, which is good for deficiencies. But that said, you can spray things like your boost product, like Canna Boost, Shogun Boost, Plant Magic Ignition. You can spray it on to flowering sites. There are a number of products you can spray. I think with Evolution, obviously being our own brand, we've taken a core number of products. So we've added sort of a number of different things like seaweed, humic acids, fulvates, a natural wetting agent, and many more. So we've simplified the process for a first-time grower and alleviated the mixing issues that bigger growers face. We've simplified it so that you can just pick it up, spray away, and it makes it a lot easier, so you don't have to do all the mixing. we've taken our core product range and put it into a bottle, and we've taken the best of both worlds, really.
It's all the benefits in one, so it's got all the kind of, you're looking to give your plants a boost and you want to give them all the good benefits and the nutrients within it, but it's just an easy way of picking up this tonic, giving it a spray, and you don't really need to think about it, do you?
No, that's it. Yeah, and I think there are a lot of growers out there who don't want to be mixing things themselves. There are obviously a sector who want to do things themselves, but there is a market for, pick it up and off you go. It's that convenience factor. So we've diluted down to the correct dose rate, so you can pick it up, spray away, refill, and keep on spraying. So it's great for small areas, for sort of a small tent, but it's also good for larger areas where you can put it in a pressure sprayer and you can dose a whole sort of room, if you will.
And it can, obviously, we've covered, so evolution can be used if you've got deficiencies and you want to directly treat them.
Yeah.
But it can help them plants recover from stress, can't it? And other attacks.
So obviously, it's great for plants which are unhealthy or sick, or that have just been under stress or pest attacks, as you've highlighted. So it's great for plants to help recover. It's obviously great for plants that are already doing well, but add a bit of colour, a bit of vigour. Sort of definitely helps with photosynthesis, where you've got healthier leaves that can contact the light more than sort of curled up leaves. But it's a general all-in-one plant tonic. It does a lot of things for a lot of people, but it is, I say, great as well for propagation. So for cuttings during propagation, it's good to keep them sort of active and healthy, and sort of stops them from being sort of getting any sort of stress or shock from being transplanted.
But really, it's just an all-in-one health boost for your plants, and you can't go wrong. Really, it's very difficult to go wrong with it, isn't it? Especially if you are a beginner. Yeah,
and that's what makes it such a useful formula. We've taken the stress out of having to mix things, and obviously, like I say, nothing stops someone from buying Veg Boost, our Catalyst, our Bio Wetter, and doing it all the same in larger volumes. If someone wants to do it in a tank mix, that's great. They can do that. But we've formulated it in such a way where we've taken the right optimal amount of each, put it into a bottle, diluted it down, and given a customer the product without having to mix it themselves at different ratios and trying things out. We've eliminated the formulation so we've done a lot of the hard work, so you don't have to.
Yeah. Well, thanks for going through those few quick tips on foliar feeding. So if anyone is watching who's got any questions, any further questions about foliar feeding, you could just comment them below and we'll do our best to cover them if we need to do another video on any questions that you might have. We've also got a competition going at the moment where you can win a bottle of Evolution. You've just got to follow us, comment and tag a friend below and like the post, and that's running until next Tuesday, so you can be in with a chance to win. Thanks a lot, Stephen.
Not a problem. Happy to help. You too.
See ya.
See you later. Take care.